and owner of HD Threshing Floor Furniture, to officially welcome our newest graduates into the Alumni Association at Conestoga College.
Distinguished President, professors, college, and of course graduates. My name is Gerald Reinink, and I'm honored to be here. I graduated from management in 2009. A couple courses barely, I'll be honest. I'll share a couple quick thoughts I've discovered since graduating, insights that I have found universally true. I'll be to the point, but one thing I want to emphasize, I have always been grateful and thankful for receiving an education at this great institution. In my case, a 3-year diploma in management. Every day, I pull knowledge I receive from Conestoga in real-world situations. Personally, I'm an entrepreneur, so where my perspective is from that angle. Nearly everyone, no matter what field, needs to apply entrepreneurship in 2015 because every field is fundamentally a business. Business and the economy is simply not the same as it has been in the past. You are literally in the best possible position right now. There are many challenges out there, but there are more opportunities than ever. You are graduating into a world very different than even 5 years ago. I remember Keith Callow saying in class one day, you guys are smarter than you think. Being a cautious realist, I had to think about that one for a bit. I've learned it is true. Think about it. In addition to your education, you grew up with technology being commonplace in your life, access to almost endless information online, and social connectivity that simply did not exist before things like the internet. This all gives you a social advantage and an unrealized upper hand compared to those older than you. Quick biography. You've heard of things being on the up and up. Well, after graduating in 2009, I was received by the down and down. Everyone was terrified by the Great Recession. I had an offer for a very stable job for an impressive salary through a contact I met at an event at the college. This I turned down to work for a buddy of my dad's, Andy Bauman, who I had worked for part-time since being 15 years old and throughout business school. The way I saw it, I could climb the corporate ladder slowly or, hopefully, leverage this uncomfortable opportunity to skip a few steps. This company wholesaled reclaimed wood from old barns found in Ontario and was very successful at it. I loved, and I still love, reclaimed wood. It appealed to my creative and entrepreneurial side, so I went with instinct instead of logic. After a failed attempt to offer reclaimed engineered flooring with Andy, I gravitated towards furniture. It all started with very simple problem solving. We had this beautiful old wood. It was beat up from use beyond recognition, and we love that. Tell any carpenter to build you something that, in its final look, should still be beat up. He or she will give you an odd look. I won't get into the extensive chemistry that was involved, but what I can tell you, through simple networking and problem solving, we created what is now known as threshing floor furniture, threshing floor being the raw material. This did not exist before 2009. The concept took off. I got ripped off by former suppliers, and there were absolutely euphoric highs and infuriating and depressing lows. But I can tell you it was worth every moment, and it has made me successful, but man, was it messy. Messiness is the new norm. Gone are the days of being with one company your whole life. Gone are the days of guarantees. Gone are the days of ultimately security. Things change quickly. Sounds scary, but this is primarily why there is more opportunity than ever right now. But remember, even if you're very successful, never get comfortable. The most rewarding careers come from constant challenging and never taking for granted where you are at. This will lead to the best decision making and constantly moving forward. Through my experience, I have come to believe there are two types of people, those internally anchored and those who are thrown around by external factors. I'm not here to say which is best, but in my personal experience, I would say being internally anchored is better. I could work in the worst possible job you could imagine, and I would still be content. Learning to accept bad circumstances is just as important as learning to accept good circumstances. I have met celebrities, millionaires, and a couple billionaires, and I can tell you this, do not make your primary goal to make money. Make your goal to invest your talents as best as possible in the interest of serving others, and your life will be full. Your primary joy should never come from your career. This goes against the world's self-serving culture. I'm lucky to be in the circumstances to know many successful entrepreneurs, and I can tell you their primary goal was never to make money, as it never brings true happiness. For me, my faith and forgiveness through Jesus Christ provides me the mental capacity to invest my time to the fullest, as ultimately, my success is not the ultimate point. Find your ultimate point outside of your career, and your life will always be full, regardless of a changing work environment. There is no such thing as unemployed. Even if you don't have a job, you can be employed with self-improvement, learning a language, immersing yourself in learning things you're interested in a completely informal way, health and wellness, expanding the amount of people you know, helping others, and travel. With the exception of travel, all these things are cheap and, in my experience, are investments in the future. I have found so many times that experiences and learning from the past that seem so insignificant at the time turn out to be very valuable later on. The absolute worst thing you can do is coast. When you wake up every day, plan your day, keeping in mind the concept of opportunity cost. The cost of whatever you're going to do is the next best possible option. Every action is a sacrifice of the next best option. If you are taking actions that are way down on the list of the best possible option, in terms of your future, on a regular basis, you will stay on a treadmill at best. I'm not saying to be a workaholic, as investing in returns are not just monetary. The investment you've made in education was a wise decision, even if you got poor marks. You learn more in this transitory period than just the knowledge for the field you are entering. You learn people, relationships, and how fast life moves when you get out of high school, and probably out of your parents' home. I felt like I had barely left home when I graduated. But you have invested time, more time than you realize, and you've learned more than you realize, and you know more than you realize. Go out in uncomfortable confidence, because there are so many opportunities available if you continue to invest your time as you have. Thank you.
Graduates,